keeping me all night. On go, keeping me all night. Keeping me all night. On go, keeping me all night. Keeping me all night, all night. On go.
You could be the one that I'm Mic check, I guess, right? Anybody here? Anybody in the chat? Still a bit early though, but I'll say it again, this Monster Cat music ain't that bad. It really isn't. So I'm starting to think if maybe Sunday's a bad time for a lot of people. Anyhow, what's up to that? Anybody here? Am I all alone today? Yeah. I mean, if Rastaman shows up and starts criticizing, then at least know somebody's watching, right? Me and him. Yep. So let me turn on the music a bit. I don't know, can anybody confirm that the sound is somewhat decent? Like, too loud, too low, too much music? Something. Awesome. It's probably decent then, at least. Right. So today, I gotta stop talking in this stupid voice. Today, we are going to patch some signatures for Defender specifically, right? So a while back, I released something called AMSI.fail. And it's basically is it down? No. Wait, did somebody take it down? No, it's burp balloon. Roffel! There we go. Which is basically like a one-stop shop to get AMSI bypasses for PowerShell. It explains what it does. Basically it looks for, this is a lie actually. It looks for a specific method inside, I think it's the system automation DLL that PowerShell loads, which has references to the native AMSI DLL. And it patches return value, I believe. It depends on which one you use. Some of them use different methods, but typically it just breaks the functionality of that. If it doesn't matter what function it is, but if it's AMSI scan buffer or if it's some other function in the C# system management automation DLL that PowerShell uses. If you didn't know, PowerShell is basically C#. So PowerShell modules are based on C#. So there's like, you can do some commands to actually list where that module you're running are coming from in terms of like the library on disk. And that's basically what's done here. They look into that library and they patch the function that talks to the native AMSI DLL which Defender uses to scan the content that you pop into PowerShell. And then yeah, probably a lot better explanations on this are on the web, but that's basically what's happening, right? So what I've done, I've taken, I think it's shit secure. If you just Google like AMSI bypass, if I could write, if you Google AMSI bypass PowerShell, you see that secure this shit in this has a bunch of examples for AMSI bypasses. So I took a couple of these, at least this one, right? No, this is not this one. I took a couple of these, and then I runtime obfuscate them in like I don't want to say custom, but I took a bunch of known obfuscation techniques. I applied them myself into specific parts of the bypass, and then we get this. So every time you click generate, you get like sort of a unique AMSI bypass that you could use, and you paste it into PowerShell without the comment on top, and then you can basically do whatever you want in PowerShell, at least for Defender. And the troll with this is that Defender and many other AVs basically rely so heavily on signatures, just signatures. So the only reason these bypasses were being detected in the first place, because I mean, you can try to a stupid example. Let me give you a stupid example. So I think is it this one? Let me check. Yeah, this one, right? So this bypass right here tries to invoke a function called AMSI.fail, and it tries to set some value by using reflection. If you go into a PowerShell, I have this other VM here, by the way, which has Defender running. If you go into a PowerShell prompt and you type in like a string, it will say, this is malicious content. Because it's Rasta here, awesome. So because it's so blindly stupid, or it isn't stupid, but the like it's just signature detections. It's basically like if statements, right? If this pattern or this string is in this, then it's a malicious virus, right? So something like this, which is just doesn't even do anything. This is just like text that you put into PowerShell will get detected as malicious because Defender is that. I don't want to say dumb or stupid or anything like that. It's just that simplistic. That's what I'm looking for. It's just that simple. Just looking for those pieces of strings in whatever you're trying to run in the buffer, in the scan buffer, and then it throws like a nope, this is bad. So it has come to my attention that a bunch of these bypasses here are now detected. I think it was James J on Twitter. Who told me this. So I have to test it. So let's take this one, right? I copy this, I paste it into PowerShell, and I run it. It says, oh no, it's bad, right? So Defender has actually put some signature detections based on the output from AMSI.fail. So my plan for today was to basically pull the repo, maybe go through the code a bit, like how it's probably like a mess if I remember it correctly. I think it's a mess. We'll see. Usually it is. And we'll take a look at that, and we'll try to implement some sort of patch to not get detected, basically fix the signatures, right? And I can already, like, just based off of this, tell you pretty much that, you know, it's pretty specific in what it's looking at, what's creating the issue. Right, so I guess we'll start by just pulling the repo, right? So how is everybody doing today? Was today a relaxing day? Was today a tough Sunday? I'm starting to think maybe Sunday isn't the best time to stream. Like maybe we should do it on like a normal weekday, like the lunch hours in the US. I don't know. Sunday fun day, right? I mean, as long as I have Rasta, I'm pretty happy, right? As long as somebody's here to point out all my mistakes, I'm pretty happy. I think maybe I should start streaming at Thursdays. Yeah, Thursdays around 8. Nah. I don't even think the viewership of of Rasta is gonna even notice that. I probably won't be able to pull a single viewer from that guy. So AMSI.fail is actually an Azure function. Now, if you don't know what an Azure function is, that's fine. It's basically a function. It's basically, so Azure has this thing called an Azure function, which basically allows you to deploy like a tiny piece of code that runs based on an input and an output. I could create like a tiny piece of code that takes an HTTP request input, like this, or maybe takes like a message from service bus or something like that. But yeah, right. So it's so let's go through this. It's missing a bunch of NuGets. Let's see if it could resolve those by itself, or I need to restart. We'll see. Oh, come on! Don't be like this. So it resolved the NuGets, which is nice, right? So basically, there's a function here. Oh yeah, okay, I forgot about this. I forgot about this. Okay, so basically there's a function here, which you define with the function name property on top of it, called generate, which takes the HTTP request input, which means that it triggers upon HTTP requests, specifically a GET request. And the authorization level in Enum is anonymous, which means that anybody can call that function. You don't have to be authenticated. You don't need it's not called a bearer token, but you don't need like an access token to be able to call it. And then basically I call this static function from a class called generator, called getPayload, and I return that output, which is a string. So I return that as an OK200 object result, which I believe takes anything, but just returns a string. And here's the juice, the juice of it, right? So we have a couple of the AMSI bypasses, like templates that I use. So basically there are 4 main ones for PowerShell, and then actually Rastamus is in here. You sneaky bastard, right? No, Secure This Shit actually made a pull request for this. Rastabuff, I am buff, basically made a pull request for this. It was great because this, I think he even had a blog. I should probably reference that, right? So I got this pull request from Secure This Shit, which I'm sure you've probably heard of. And it was related to his blog, and it's basically, this can be used for the .NET AMSI interface. The ones already included don't bypass, blah blah blah, right? So this would allow you to patch AMSI for C#, which would allow you to reflectively load C# code into PowerShell and get past AMSI. The other ones would just allow you to run PowerShell code without having to go through AMSI. So I mean, if you do both, then you can do anything basically, right? So I think Mr. Secure This Shit made a pretty nice blog post on this. Let's see, it's pretty new. Oh, what's his site? Okay, I'm gonna find it. Give me a second. I'm gonna find it outside DVM. It was a pretty nice blog post. You should probably read it at some point. About the differences between patching AMSI in PowerShell and patching AMSI in C#, or in the C# library. Let me just find that link. Give me a second. Oh, come on, where is it? Yeah, there it is. So this one, I'm gonna link it in chat. So this one, which is this. No, you can't even see that. Lol, it was outside the VM. Which is this. No, yeah, okay, I did it correctly. This one. This basically talks about the difference between loading net assemblies via the load function in system reflection assembly and using that to bypass the C# AMSI, and the difference between just using PowerShell. So I even think he actually references AMSI.fail here at some point. Yeah, so we created the pull request for AMSI.fail. I accepted that pull request. I'm going to test it in this video, and then I'm going to push it to Azure. Right, so that's this. This is his patch, which he called Rastabuff. So basically, you have a bunch of templates, and I do a random number between 1 and 6 on a case switch that goes to one of those templates. So let's use the which sends the template to encode payload function, which is also static. I love it. Basically takes that example payload. God, this is a long time since I've done this. I can't even recall all this. Okay, so it basically takes that template and then it does a regex to pull out all the wildcard tags. No, single quotes. Replace them with double quotes. If there's any results. Wow, have I made this? Like, I can't even recall making this. Like, ruffle. Yeah, and then it puts like it has a bunch of keywords that it has to encode, and then it has some keyword right. Okay, so he made his own one for encode Rasta. Encode payload. Okay, that was the easy way to do it, I guess. Right. So then it just basically encodes some keywords that I have defined. And the reason for this is that if you look at the default payloads here, there's a bunch of references to AMSI, right? So I basically just take out those, and then that's the part I encode. So that's for Rasta, we don't need to look at that. And then I basically obfuscate those must encode characters in obfuscate string function. Wow, have I made this? Like, okay, so I started looking into normalization, which is pretty interesting, which we probably should talk about. But basically, like, if you don't look at the code, so basically what I do is that I have specific keywords that I know I have to obfuscate to get past Defender. I pull out those keywords, I obfuscate them in code, right? And then I put it back in, and then hopefully it works. And this obfuscation process has sort of been created around those templates, so I know they work with the templates. Right. So if we go back to the detection we found, you can pretty much like straight out of the bat tell what part of the detection it doesn't like. It doesn't like this alloc h global thing, which I think Rasta could probably explain better. But I think that's just allocation of memory, managed memory, or unmanaged memory, I should say, right? I think that just allocates some memory in the process. Either that or it's for a pointer address. Let's see what it actually does. So it's a reference to a C# method, which is why you have this. This usually means that there's some sort of C# object or allocates unmanaged memory, right? So this basically creates some unmanaged memory, which I think later on you actually assign the value, right? So this is basically instead of setting. Okay, so it's not sure. Okay, it's hard to sort of decode this, right? So what I can tell is that creates a bunch of allocates memory in unmanaged territory, puts that to a variable, and then makes that an in pointer back to set value. So it's basically another way of setting null. I don't think this even copies data into it. I just think this is another way of being able to set null. Right. Well, the point is, I think this is the part of the function that it doesn't like. So if I take out this and I do this, okay, that's fine. That's interesting. So that isn't the issue. So we could probably look at what did you create, Rasta? This thing to take the data and smack it into AMSI and find out where. Threat check, thank you. So there's two versions of this. It's threat check, and then there's another one that's for binaries. Okay, this is also for binaries. This is basically your version of Defender check from interpreter or Meterpreter, or however you say that, which you probably heard of. Right. So let's use some stuff from Rasta. I mean, why not, right? This is basically a fan stream at this point. I just stream to show off all the cool stuff Rasta made. And by the way, Defender has to be disabled if you're doing this or trying to redo this. Because Defender will snap on AMSI.fail. It doesn't like AMSI.fail. So let's just compile that in this slow ass VM. Oh, come on. Go right, so let's just pull that release folder out a bit, and then I guess like a PS file you can just like give it a check, I guess, because it doesn't really care about the different content. And then I'm gonna copy out this and then put that into that, and then we can do bin. Oh, come on. Release. Okay, I can't type, it's official. Threat check. And then, what? You're not gonna show me the help menu, Rasta? Yeah, but I think that would work, but Defender didn't seem to trigger on just that. So I'm guessing it's not that. What, you read the readme? Who are you? File or URL? Okay, I guess I have to read the readme. Oh, I can do H. Let's do F. No threats found, because obviously I have Defender off. So the way I would do that, I would probably make an exclusion for Windows Defender on this machine. Right, so manage an exclusion folder, and then I'll make an exclusion folder on my desktop. Safe zone, I'll select that, so everything that happens in safe zone is fine, because we need access to the I can't recall the Defender engine, which can't be disabled. Okay, yeah, I think it's because I disabled Defender. So let's just zip this. Wait, so it's slow? Is that why? Is that why? Okay, this is a weird one. So it... That's weird. Let's try now. So... Did it nuke it? No, it didn't. Let's zip this, and let's hope I can at least like extract it. Okay, I could. That's awesome, right? So now I can extract it here, and then inside this folder I can attempt to run it again. File, data to check, AMSI. No threats found. What the frick? Okay. Okay. So that isn't gonna work. So I guess we have to just do it manually then, right? So did I install? Yeah, I did, right? So I guess we could just try to replace this with this new line engine, then just... Oh, that's gonna nuke itself so hard. Oh, it's not that bad though. We could probably fix it. So that's like one. Oh, this is gonna be a mess. Okay, that's one. And that's one whole line. And then we can do this. And then we can do this. Oh, this is gonna be a mess. Okay, so at least now we have 3 lines, right? Who wrote that load of crap? That didn't work. Right, so it doesn't like this. And I did it too fast, so I don't know which it didn't like. I think it's this. Yeah, it doesn't like... No, that's just an error. Okay, so is it just like a... It's probably because it has to be all together. Yeah, that's it. That's probably it. So that's probably it. So the signature is actually based for the whole thing, not just parts of it, which makes it even worse. So I'm just gonna do something here, okay? So I think, since this is just getting like a value, I think if we do this, oops, let me try this. I have high hopes for this. So if I copy this out, if I can copy this, I clear this, and I do this, it just returns a value, right? So the way we could obfuscate this, if we do invoke expression, just make this all a string, and do this, it will still return a value, right? And then to make it, we can like pre-make it an in pointer, so we can do this. After that, I think we have to do another one of these to be able to do that. Yep, and I think, because since you now invoking an expression that is basically a string, I can mess this up, right? By just and this looks so stupid, but this I'm like 90% sure this is gonna work right off the bat, right? Because that's fine, that's gonna run. So let's take this and just copy this to the beginning here. So that value is like equals that. And then we just remove the in pointer statement at the end here because we already casted it to an in pointer. And if this works, I'm happy. So if I type AMSI scan buffer, it says that's malicious. If I paste this, oh, that didn't work. Okay, okay. Hello. Hello. So you're telling me, okay, if that's the case, I'm gonna laugh, right? So let's copy the original payload. Let's go into here, let's open another PowerShell window. Oh, that wasn't PowerShell. Thank you, Windows. AMSI scan buffer. It's gonna detect it, right? That's malicious, because again, it's looking for strings. If I paste this, I'm gonna detect it as malicious. If I go into this non-obfuscated territory here called non-public and just do this, wow, wow, Defender, what are you doing? What is this? What is this? Like, what is this? This shouldn't, this is, no. This isn't okay by any means. Like, ever. Okay. Okay, so basically I just have to obfuscate some of these keywords. I can do that. Actually, I think I could just do, if I take the static keyword, okay, I'm gonna start experimenting now, right? So if I go back to AMSI, the project, AMSI.fail, we see that I have like a specific list of keywords that I want to obfuscate, and they're basically just AMSI. Yeah, right, so my thought is that it's, the signature is probably like this is the output for AMSI.fail, and then they probably wildcard in some stuff, and that's it. So when I split that non-public, it doesn't match the end of it, the end snippet anymore, and you're done. So I think if I just do this, let's look at the deep, like just make sure, so I think this has static, yep. I'm pretty sure this has static, yep. And I'm pretty sure the first one also has static somewhere. Let's see, Forcer, yeah, this has static. Okay, so let's just add static and see if that breaks or makes, I guess, right? take some time to make this up, that's fine. Oh, come on, this VM is so slow, okay. LOL, Defender triggered on the AMSI.fail project trying to run. Pretty sure I disabled it though. Yeah, this is hard to disable, right? I actually disabled this with GP edit, but apparently that isn't enough. So there we go. So it generates this. What? Why did you stop? Please restart your device. Dude, I literally just disabled you. Stop nagging me. There we go. And now we can see that the static that we selected is now encoded, right? So if we go back here and we open a new PowerShell session, because this one had it patched, and the AMSI scan buffer says virus, we go this. Okay. But that literally just worked. Okay. Okay, so this is probably this is another template though. So for this template, let's actually just generate once we come to that template that we originally modified, which is the one that starts with, oh come on, not this one, not that one, this one. This is the one that we patched static for. So this one is probably gonna go through. Yeah, so that's fixed. That's one patched. That's one template patched. But this template here. So I think the one I did now patched for 2, and the one that security set made a pull request for is probably good. So I think it's only this one. This one has it starts with the write int 32. To a specific pointer value, right? And I'm guessing in the beginning here it's probably this. So how would we call this? Because in the beginning here it's complaining about write int 32. I think only 4 templates, yeah. So we basically fixed everything except this one. Yeah, I know. I didn't buy an ass today. I was all empty out of ass, so I went for I'm basically 13 again. It tastes better than ass though, must say. Right, so the problem with this bypass is that write int 32. So I'm thinking about how we could get around this, but I want to see how much is inside that write int 32. Alright, so this is inside it, and then get field is also inside. And then that is also inside. No, it isn't. I think this is where it stops. This is where an IDE comes in. Yeah, I think that's about correct. Yeah. So this is inside it, and this is the... I have to look up what this is. Probably just writes a value to a pointer address. Yeah. So write in pointer and value, right? So the value is the value we're trying to get from this. Okay, so I remember this. If I recall correctly, this can be anything, because you're just writing some random value to AMSI.fail in it, and that's going to cause it to fail, so it doesn't really matter. So it's this right in 32 in the beginning here, that's the issue. I'm just trying to think. So I could wrap this in EIX, right? But that would be sketchy. That would just be Actually, I can't. I think I can't wrap it. So how would we reference a C# module and obfuscate it? How would we do that? Yeah, we could do this. So let's take a look at, I think invoke obfuscation has this this nailed down. So invoke obfuscation is an old, super old. It's an older obfuscation script that it's still usable, but I think it has a lot of more generic detections. But it has this technique where it uses ticks, I think. Yeah, this ticks between whatever. So I think you can do like this. I think that's fine. Let's see. Let's put this back together and see if it works. So this is already patched, so we gotta open a new one. Unable to find. Okay, so text doesn't work for C# references like that, which is sad. Can we do randomized case? Okay, so you could do it for that. That's awesome. So that splits it as a string. Does that work? If that works, that's amazing. Let's check. So you're saying we can treat this as a reference and then basically make it take a string. So this is probably like another override. So you could search for functions by string. No, that doesn't seem to work. Let me check if I messed up the payload. So let me copy the original one and then just do that again. Yeah, that would, I'm not sure that would work. I do know you could do like uppercase, lowercase, because it isn't case sensitive. So that would be a possible solution. No, that doesn't work. Let's try to do random upper or lower. But why does that work and this doesn't? I'm trying to see the difference here. Cannot convert non-public to type. Okay, so this could actually be this could actually be a problem with the previous one that we implemented. Yeah. I think that's the issue here. So I think it's an issue with the previous fix that we just made. No. BigFollows.com. So let's actually check that. So I'm gonna try. I don't believe you're lying. So let's try. I think actually the previous change that we made with static probably, yeah. Okay, so I think the previous example we made with static probably breaks this one because it tries to static this this bottom part here, which isn't gonna work. So I think we either have to like specify that, or okay, so I'm thinking stupidly loud here. So this is supposed to be static, this value right here. This is supposed to resolve to the string value static. So I think you have to do it like this. And let's just check on a machine without Defender if this works at all. No, that doesn't work. Pretty much famous, right? Nope, I'm not. Do not want that on me. Okay, what is this non-public stuff afterwards here? Yeah, this definitely broke some stuff, the shakes within. So, static, let's see where it references. So that's gonna be an issue, right? Because the one we... Yeah, so the static one works for this because it's using double quotes, not for this because it's using single quotes. I think if I do... Like, I have a feeling we're probably gonna end up breaking a lot more stuff than fixing at this point, but I mean, let's try. Because this costs, right? This costs to a binding flag. Let's see if this didn't broke even more stuff. I mean, like when Rustamouse streams, he has like 50, 60 viewers. I would say he's pretty famous. He's a pretty famous guy, you know. Shout out to his Red Team Operations course. If you actually want to become a through hacker, you have to take that. That is the best course. Hashtag can recommend. I wouldn't even bother with anything else. Just do that. Okay, so that worked. Awesome. So we sort of fixed it. We sort of didn't. The problem is that the keywords thing expects stuff to not be within double quotes. So it sort of messes some stuff up. I'm trying to think how I'm going to fix this without having to like redo a shit ton of stuff. So the problem here is it looks for this. I actually think I have to enable double quotes for this. Could also pick something else than static to encode. Could do that as well. Because that's the issue right now, is that when it generates for static, it ends with this snippet because it's not it doesn't know that it has to encode that with double quotes. And I see that I have a bool for it, encode payload, but the other references are within single quotes. So that would mess that up. So I have to, this would have to turn into a dictionary basically. And we can do that, that isn't an issue. Sure, let's do that. Must encode dict equals new dictionary of string and bool, right? Use double quotes. I can't even write quotes. Quotes, I did it. I'm just gonna use double. I'm just gonna use Q, and then keyword here, and then this, right? Then we probably have to import dictionary. Nope, we have to stop the process. Private labs, that sounds nice. Is there actually like going to be an RTO2, or are you just going to update this one until you pass out? No pressure. So that's the key, right? And then if word value, which is bool, and then word key. There we go. Okay. So when you say probably, you're thinking not in the immediate future, right? Guessing. Well, that's one way to live. Timelines, what are those? So I think this pretty much fixed it. Pretty sure this should do the trick. Let's see if it broke it or if it worked. So what I did, I basically... So some of the keywords we choose might be within double quotes or single quotes, and that changes how PowerShell obfuscates it. If it's within double quotes, you can use variables and you can wrap it in this to sort of say, you know, evaluate this before you put it into the string. You can't do that with single quotes. Then you have to use pluses on the sides. So by saying that static is within double quotes and AMSI is within single, then it should fix the problem, and it did, which is awesome. So let's see. I think this is the one that isn't detected anyhow, so I think this is going to be fine. Let me exit this, open the PowerShell one. Just gotta check that the... Yeah? What the frick? So is it taking the non-public one as well? Okay, Defender. Putting up a fight, I see, eh? Okay, so maybe the... Okay. I don't know how you're supposed to say that this is malicious, because there's basically just encoded stuff in here. Yeah, okay. Okay. Sure. Let's add in it failed as well. At this point, I basically encoded the whole thing in char. But that really depends on, yeah, it will select between encodings randomly, right? So you might have to test a bit to get the right one. This one looks better. Let's see. Yeah. Awesome. So that worked. Let's go back to the one where we did the write in 32 in the beginning. So this one should also be undetectable. This is another template. Let's check if that works. Okay, so that has some errors with so that seems to be okay. I think it's the issue is that, okay, so the issue here is that HTML decode can't be inside here because of the single quotes. You see that? So it's gonna like single quotes within double quotes. That ain't gonna work. So basically when we use double quotes, we can't use the HTML decode method. So we have to implement that basically, and just do obfuscate screen, blah, blah, blah. It chooses between char and then this and this, and this is taken out, yeah. So we can fix this easily by saying max case. This is such a dirty fix, and then smack this in there, and then we can do like. So basically, when we call obfuscate string, we can control if it should do just char, HTML decode, or normalize, which isn't ready yet, which isn't used. So it's either HTML or obfuscate char. So for the case with, say, this keyword, we can just add like, okay, the mux case. We're starting to. This is what happens when you try to like patch stuff, and it just becomes more and more of a mess. Boop, boop. Boop, boop. No, so init failed and static. I think init failed is fine, but static has to be 2. So no, we don't. No. We don't do refactoring here. Word key in no value item 2. Refactoring, what is that? We don't do that. That's the whole point why I stopped being a developer and started doing this, because I don't have to do unit testing, I don't have to do refactoring, I don't have to do fucking what's it called? I can't even remember what it's called. It's just I can just make crappy stuff and it works like most of the time, and since it's free, so nobody can say anything. It's okay. Can't complain. That's why I told the last stream, I said that if you wanted to see a real developer develop actual stuff that isn't shit, you should go watch Rust of Us, right, Rust of Us? Because you do unit testing and you do refactoring, and you actually think about the stuff you're about to implement before you implement it. But what? What? I can't hear you. Oh. Okay, so that worked. I'm just gonna. We didn't break that. Awesome. Let's see if we broke another payload. So that was the one that starts with get type, reflection. So this, I think, is the this looks like a mess, guys. This might just not work. Yeah. Cannot convert arg2. Yeah, this is the issue. So in this one, of course, I mean, if you have a testing environment, what? Wait, what? In my where I worked before, that's called a waste of time. No, but I mean, yeah, right. There's nothing like pushing something late on a Friday and then get the phone on Saturday and Sunday, and it's like this shit doesn't work, and then you work real quick to make it work. basically. So the problem, I can see a couple of problems here. One of them is where was it? I lost it. You made this. So this isn't going to resolve because static, which it tried to encode here, is in single quotes, but I told it was supposed to be in double quotes. So we need to make sure that static, I guess it failed, or static, single, single. Okay, that's fine. Let's take a look at static. Static, double, static, double, static, double, single. Here's the issue. This needs to be in double quotes. I think at the end of this, waste of power. You gotta think environment friendly, guys. Don't push the test. Push directly to production. More environment friendly. I think this is the issue here, because we had a static parameter that was defined with double quotes and not single. I mean single quote, not double quotes, and we specifically told it that it is in double quotes. This Monster Cat music ain't bad. Like, I've said it a couple of times. I'm probably gonna say it a couple of more times. I really wish Rastamouse could, pay for Monster Labs so we could hear some good music on his stream. That would be awesome. Come on. Too cheap. It's literally $4 a month. Too cheap. What is that even? Right, so you're basically, the best way to test is to have two production environments. So when the first one screws up, you can just switch to the second one while you fix the first one. It works, right? So this is the one that we had detections on with the write in 32. Let's see if it works and or has detections. Okay, so we patched that. I don't know why though. Or no, was this a new prompt? No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It got detected. We were using an old prompt. Yeah, okay. So I think we fixed most of the parsing problems. This is what's left, basically. And I think the problem here is the write int 32. So let's... Oh my god, I'm getting raided, guys! No! Okay, so if you try to run it again, says detected. I think it's the write in 32 in the beginning. A really smart viewer of mine told me that this should work if we split it up like this. Right, and it does call it correctly, and it does call it, so I mean that should work, right? That's because then we could encode this, basically just add that to the encoding param. So let's try to fix that. Should be an easy one if you are correct, or you are correct. If it doesn't work, I mean. Alright, so this should work then. It's gonna get detected, but it should work. Yep. And then I bet if I just split this... Oh, come on, Notepad++. I bet if I just split the string, it's probably gonna be fine. No. Okay. We're actually getting some resistance here. This is interesting. Okay. So maybe it's the first part? I'm pretty sure you can have like... Is it... Is it non-public? Is that the issue? That's like the only thing we have left that isn't... Nope, that isn't the issue. Is it context? Now we got some other error. Let's see if it runs first. That should probably be like number one to make sure that we didn't actually abort the PowerShell script. So it does run, but it's getting detected. And we don't know why. What's up? You also have a non-public in there. Yeah, I could try to change that, but let me copy this clean one back to the lab one. Like, this should be enough, as previous experiments has shown. It isn't. So I think it's this beginning part here. I think this is the issue. I guess we could test that, right? Because I mean, AMSI doesn't care if the code actually runs or not. So if I delete this and then I paste it in, if that doesn't get detected, then it's the beginning part. Okay, so it's not the beginning part. Some juicy, that's nice to hear. Right now we're not bypassing, or this template here we ain't getting past, but the other ones were already fixed. So it's just this one left. So it isn't the beginning one. So I mean, what's left? Get value? Null? Context? Like, there isn't much readable left here. So the hex value at the end there is actually randomly generated each time. Reverse? For sure. I'm just thinking... Maybe it's maybe it's this. You know what? I'll bet it is this. I think it's this, actually. I think it's having a detection for this part in the middle here. Let's check that out. Let's try to remove that and see if it goes through. It's obviously going to fail though because it's missing some values, but then we at least know what the detection is about. Where is it? God damn it. Oh, that's the wrong payload, no wonder. I think it's this. No, it isn't. Enjoy Rasta, thanks for tuning in. See you next week Thursday, right? Hereditor. Really? Nah. I'm like, what? I'm still... okay, now it's complaining... Let's try to do that just so it's done. So if we specifically say that we want to obfuscate if we say that we want to obfuscate something, and that is double char, and that is right in 32, and then we have to add that to the template, which is here, right? So that could be this. Let's see how that goes. Yeah, I think we talked about it. It doesn't flag on this alone, but I think the way it works now is that the They basically took the output and then they wildcarded what I usually obfuscate. And I usually don't obfuscate this. So that I think the beginning, yeah, correlations between them. Like regex, right? That's how advanced the signatures are right now. The regex. Oh no. Oh no, not regex. Right. I'm gonna try obfuscating that and then we'll see. Because there's really not much left. I mean, there really isn't much left. I'm not obfuscating. So in that case, they're decoding some stuff. I know that AMSI got support for at least some. So this will go through. We tested that. This is new, and this will also go through. This will go through. This should also go through now. Let's test it. Okay, so this fails. I don't know why this fails though. Oh yeah, it's because of this. Get field, double, and then let's look at that get field parameter. What is that? We're sort of fixing like 3 things at the same time here. So I mean, yeah, that's statically coded, right? So the only thing I do with HTML decode is that I randomize the case. But this could also be, I could add the, we talked about it. Oh, we could add the text to it, right? But the HTML decode is a big part of PowerShell, right? So I mean, it can't be detected by itself, but yeah, it could be in correlation with other stuff. But the mistake here is this. So it's the get field context non-public for force error. So look at the force error one. Get field context. It's this one. So it's having problem replacing AMSI context in this because AMSI context is in double quotes. And it shouldn't be. It should be in single quotes because it's replacing the AMSI one. So it should be this because when I encode it, I specifically say that AMSI is always in single quotes. So that was the issue there. So this is basically everything that it does, right? It takes AMSI.fail takes these keywords and encodes them. That's it. Because these are keywords Defender are known to trigger on. And for like, I want to say half a year or something, it has worked now until somebody told me that, hey, it's getting detections now. So this one should be fine. We looked at that. We want the error one. For this one, let's see if this one is fixed. Awesome, thank you so much for tuning in. Talk to you on the next one, dude. So we're still getting some null values, and this is, I don't know why this is an issue though. So complaints about the non-public char stuff, so char 53, right? So it's this line right here. Don't know why that's an issue. It ends with double quotes, right? Yeah, it does. That shouldn't be an issue. This part right here should resolve just fine. Let's see. Yeah, that part resolves just fine. Something before it then probably, get field, maybe it's this part right here. Yeah, this doesn't have anything around it. That's probably the problem. So get field expects this to be encoded in dual chars, or it doesn't encode anything. So back to the template. So that's again, it's the error one. I'm scrolling the wrong way. It's this one. It's the get field here, right? So it's replacing this. I guess we could cheat and just do this. I would fix it, but it's a bit of cheating. Let's find the error one. This is the error one, and now it says get failed, and it's within that. So, but now we have this issue. Ah! Yeah. Now we have the single quotes within the double quotes, which causes issues again. So I'm thinking we should probably just do this, right? Let's do double quotes, and let's and that's, how many small case AMSIs are they? Those are big case, those are small case. Yeah, that's sort of the issue right here. So it's AMSI context. We could, yeah. The problem is that for all the templates, some of them use single quotes and some use double quotes. And there's a lot of keywords that have AMSI in them, and I try to rip them out, but I don't know specifically for each of the templates if they are surrounded by double quotes or single quotes. So what I could do, I could modify all the templates to just use double quotes or just use single quotes. But I have a feeling that might break a lot of stuff. So I'm going to replace the lowercase AMSI with AMSI context, and then I'm going to find every reference to AMSI context and make sure those are in double quotes, like this. Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah, that's a good solution. So encode AMSI context before you encode the AMSI one. That's actually a way better solution to get rid of them, right? Because then that's awesome. So I did that just now. I replaced them with double quotes. So I know that AMSI context is all double quotes, which is the second parameter here. Let's just do double Q so I remember. Max Inc. So this should have double quotes, and since it has double quotes, it should only go max 2. And then after that, I can include the old one AMSI and say that is in single quotes, and that could be included to 3. And now it's probably going to complain about item 2, which is maxenc, and item 1, which is double encode, and stop and restart. So that's a good solution, right? Because then it will be out of the way. Let's get back to that unknown error and see if we at least solved the issues. Alright. Let's see, let's hope. Okay, what's the issue now? It's again complaining about some null value types. And again, it's because that should be fine though. Yeah, it's because of this. It's doing HTML decode on something that is within double quotes. It shouldn't. It should not do that. And this get field is before the non-public, which is this. No, because this is the error one. Okay, so it's AMSI session. Okay, fair enough. We'll add that as well. Right? Really, we should just have a check to see if if I take it's gonna be a lot of educations, but we could take a look at like, okay, I pulled out this keyword, how far from it is each edge is a single or double quote to determine if it's inside the single or double quote. But I mean, there shouldn't, crossing my fingers, shouldn't be so many issues that we would have to. Oh come on, just give me a freaking error. Wow, okay, we are hitting the jackpot here. There we go. Check now. Okay. Again, what the frick? What's the issue now? Non-public char x53. Non-public char bytes 53, so it's this stuff in front of it. Which is this. And this should be fine. This isn't an issue. Yeah, that's correct. I mean, I don't see an issue here, but there is one. You cannot call a method on a null value expression. Char byte, char. This also resolves just nicely. So I think actually the main issue here is that I don't think you should do that. Let's actually remove this. I think that's the issue right here now. If I could just hit that error one, there we go, a bit quicker. What is this? What is this? Why can I not get around this? Get failed. This is a totally valid expression. I literally do not understand what the problem is here. Does it have to be in single quotes? Like, is that I can't evaluate that on runtime? Is that the issue? Like, does it have to be? No, I've evaluated that a bunch different times, so that should be fine. Get field char. We have some HTML decode again, but it's fine because it's okay. What is this? There's some other stuff again. So this is AMSI this is AMSI utils, right? Okay, I mean, the best solution would be just to disable HTML decoding for everything. I mean, that could totally work, because the issue here is, I think it's system management automation AMSI utils get type on error. So it's this right here. It's using HTML encoding on something that is within double quotes. So I think either we have to remove everything that has double quotes, or just skip actually we're just gonna skip the HTML decode for now. And then probably in a later stream we'll try to make a more generic solution for this, because this isn't great at all. Like, when I pull out keywords, I should somehow dynamically find out if that keyword is within double or single quotes. And that would be as easy as just taking the string apart and walking right or left till we get to a point where it's either a single or a double quote. And then finding and closing one on the other side. We could totally do that. Oh, okay, I don't know what to do anymore. This is just... I'm just failing hard right now. What's the issue? Cannot call a method on a null value expression. Get field. Double quotes. Double quotes. We can't encode get field either? I mean, I could try to... We just did, I mean... Okay, maybe we can't have... I mean, that could be a... That could be a thing, right? I mean... That's another thing that we probably want to do, so... it's complaining about this get field here. Which is inside... Which doesn't need to be. Yeah, we could try. Okay, so that's a valid mistake though. Look at this. It's still complaining about the get field. Yeah, no worry, no, that's not that weird because. Okay. Have I like broken my templates or something? I have a feeling I might actually... Okay, no, that's the issue. I see the issue here. But apparently there's more issues. Sharp byte 41. That's further up, right? That's this right here probably. That's fine. This. Now what is this? Why is it ending with... Again, this is another replacement where it's in double quotes. Yeah, I think I just... If I'm gonna do this, I think I just have to change everything to either double or single quotes in the templates. I think that's the right approach. Yeah, because there's a lot of... That, or I would have to stop using this. That could also be a solution. I just encode the actual keywords that it's having issues with in its whole, right? That could also be a solution. But I definitely think I have to tinker with this some more. And in that case, you know, it's Defender 1. So double it is. Yeah, right. So what I did now is that I removed. Yeah. I think I did this once. I think when I first started the project, I had issues because some of the templates use single and some of them use double. And I think at least one of them I couldn't be converted to only using single because they're nested, right? They're nested in a way. So some single quotes would be inside a statement with double quotes and so on, right? Okay, so that worked. But I see this is 100% going to be detected, I think. At least the AMSI utils is probably going to be detected really hard. Oh, come on. Yeah. But that's sort of expected, right? So now I know that this has AMSI utils in double quotes. All places. AMSI util, AMSI utils. So now I could do this. And then double quotes being through, but then I gotta make sure AMSI utils since yeah, here we have a bunch of them in single quotes, right? Yeah, that's the issue here. That's the issue. We have to just make sure everything is in double. Right, so AMSI utils is all in double. Awesome. AMSI session, double, it's only one and it's in double. AMSI context, one and it's in double. Double. Right init is in double. AMSI init failed. Right, so this is in single, so we should probably replace it with this, and then leave it as single if it's in single in every instance. So I'm saying it single, single, single. Okay, that's great then. We can leave it at single. Let's see if we can get an error. No, I went past it. There we go. Let's see if this fails again. Hey, it didn't fail. That's awesome. It didn't fail, but it's probably gonna get detected. Oh, and it didn't get detected. What the frick? Okay. Okay. Wow! We're actually getting somewhere. Let's see if this is detected and or broken. Not broken. And that's second. That's force. We tried that. Reflection method, bit something log. Hey, what the frick? We're getting past stuff, guys. And this is the first reflection method. This is my favorite due to how short it is. Hey, okay. Apparently we did it. But wait, here's HTML decode. Didn't I disable? No, I didn't disable that for everything. HTML decode is only disabled for... I did disable... Wait, are we... Wait, what? I think... When I did this, I think I actually created a PowerShell script that would fetch the payload like 100 times and run it to see if we get any errors. So I think it would be like we could just do it's running, right? I have to restart it. But didn't I? Yeah, that would be... I was thinking about that. Or just like removing... Yeah. I should probably do that. But I want to do more with this though. I want to use normalization, which is a cool obfuscation technique. Which I started on implementing, but I'd never finished because it took so much time. So I think like... why can't I use Veget? That's weird. Let me... I'm so lazy. Oh my god, what did I open? I'm gonna find one-liner. Yeah, TLS. It's actually something with Internet Explorer about first-time use. But I do have like, give me a second. Windows, PowerShell. I'm gonna just pull like a download one for my cheat sheet. Yeah, invoke web request. Does that work? That's basically the same as vget, right? Yeah, use basic parsing it is. Use basic parsing. There we go. And then you can do this. There we go. And then we got some fails. Okay. So what did it fail? Get type. Okay, so we should probably do like foo. So when it fails, we can just output foo. Well, are you serious? Content? There we go. Okay, so this fails. Create delegate with 3 arguments. Valid cannot be null. Again, it's using the HTML decode. Why is it using decode? I was pretty sure I disabled that. Ah. Do I have to limit it to 1 then? Okay, that's limited to 1 then. I thought. Okay, sure. I went past it, load. There we go. So there's some issue here with the value cannot be null, something. So it's complaining about 91 to 20. So I'm guessing it's this. This is the issue. So oh, this is a needle in a fucking haystack. Because it's replacing the whole verb, right? That's the issue. No. What is this? Why is it doing this? Yeah, there's definitely a single char, double char thing here. And this was for what method? This was for the auto login bypass method, which I'm sort of tempted to just ignore because it doesn't really work anyhow, and it's just a big one. But it's complaining about something in the end here. So it's probably complaining about AMSI.fail, but AMSI.fail is not in double quotes, so that should be fine. Oh yeah, here's the issue. It's complaining about this. AMSI utils is in it, but it isn't in double quotes. So it's yet another double quote issue. But now I think it's sorted now. Because there's nothing else there, right? AMSI.fail is single quotes, that's fine. Probably just that. Let's see. This is where unit testing would actually be useful, right? Instead of me spamming this one-liner in PowerShell. But who does testing, guys? Testing is for, I don't know, people who want to save time. I don't want to save time. Looks pretty good now, have to say. Looking pretty good. Yeah, I think it's good now. So I think we did it, guys. We fixed it. Let's try a couple of ones. Yeah, we could totally do that and then see if it bypasses. So that would be just start process, right? Start process and run that content. Just gonna do like a, okay, so that worked. Awesome. Okay, let's do that, I guess. So this, but we actually invoke that into, there's actually, this is pretty useful. So there's actually a hidden function call that I haven't talked about in AMSI.fail that you can call, which gives you the one-liner, which is pretty cool. It's called, if I can get into program, it's called run function encoded instead of generate encrypt actually, generate encode, I mean. And then you'll get this. So I could just use this. Right, because if you run this, I think it will start a new one, right? Maybe we need process hacker to see that. Do I have it installed? I think actually I have process hacker installed here. But then I would have to, yeah. Then I would have to, modify this one so it's reachable from that other one. And I don't think I'm gonna do that. I think, and this is what we're gonna do. So I'll end it here. But the next time I'm gonna implement this thing called, we're gonna re-implement HTML code, and we're gonna make this way better. We gotta make a dynamic way to do this. So find a way for the keywords to determine if they're within single or double queues. Re-add HTML encode. And also we'll do normalization, which is pretty cool, which I have, which isn't active right now, but it's pretty cool. You can basically you can take like a weird character that isn't an E. So if you do like ASCII value chart normalization. Here we go, I think. So I think it's past the 255 one. Yeah, these. You see all these weird letters? Like the E with the dash, the A with the dash and stuff. There's a PowerShell method to normalize these back to the E and back to the A and back to the C, right? So I was thinking we could use this to encode, so like instead of AMSI.fail, it's AMSI with the A with the dash, and then we normalize it and run it. So it's just another way of obfuscating. I started implementing this. So I started making like this, so it would get an ASCII value and it will convert that weird value. Let's say if it's a big A, capital A, it takes that and then it generates the normal, or I would say weird value for that A, right? So yeah, we're gonna look at that. Maybe there's a way to like double encode HTML encode stuff, or maybe just leave it. We'll see. But I think that's for now. Yeah, because I want to test this more before I push it. And we should probably automate the testing somehow, so I don't have to do this weird stuff every time. But to be honest, I haven't really touched the AMSI.fail project in freaking, I want to say like half a year, but that's probably exaggerating. I haven't touched it in like at least 4 months. So I think we're gonna end it here. I usually don't like streaming more than like 1.5 hours anyway, because it gets a bit too much for some, I think. It gets boring in the length, I think. So that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for joining in, guys. I really appreciate it. I'll be doing this every Sunday. Sunday at 2 p.m. EST or 8 p.m. Norwegian time, which is London time, basically, right? So thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate it. If you liked it, if you have any questions, hit me up on Twitter. I appreciate the feedback. Definitely. Same, man. Enjoy yours. Have a nice one. Peace out. Talk later.
Vent lite grann, eller? Ja.
Ser jeg noen melding, da først jeg leser, så ja. Så skjønner jeg liksom. Ja. Ja, vi begynt, ja.
Nei, da er det bare å drite i.
Ja, jeg ble jævlig forbannet, altså.
Barnslig.
Ja, bare fordi hun klarte å si det liksom til meg. Da er du ikke moten med noe, altså, for meg.
Jeg var litt tatt ut av historien, og derfor jeg ikke klarte å spore.
Ja, jeg var forbannet når jeg sendte tilbake, altså. Faen meg, det er jeg som er oppgønnen som har blitt med for noen av barn, ikke sant?
Ja.
Det er jo mer urent enn meg, liksom.
Altså, så...
Jeg ble sjokket, fordi det var ingenting før som ble tydelig på at det ikke er gærent på det, liksom. Jeg bare så 2 dager før, jeg holdt på bra, liksom.